India became independent on 15th August 1947. However, at that time there existed more than 600 princely states of various sizes. These princely states in India were ruled by hereditary rulers but under British suzerainty. The states were given the choice to decide whether to accede to India or not. If these states had decided against it, then it would have become very difficult to create the Indian Union. The task of acceding the princely states to the Indian Union fell upon Sardar Vallabhai Patel, the first Deputy Prime Minister and the Home Minister of India. It was a big challenge. Sardar Patel handled the situation with great skill and tact. He took a conciliatory approach and won the confidence of the rulers of these states. With the exception of Junagadh, Kashmir, and Hyderabad, the remaining states responded positively to the appeal and merged in India. Later, Vallabhai Patel adopted a stern policy and resolved the problem of the accession of the three states of Junagadh, Hyderabad, and Kashmir, who were not willing to accede earlier. Junagadh was a princely state in Saurashtra, Gujarat. The people of this state were ready to accede to India, while its Nawab wanted to merge in Pakistan. However, common people opposed the Nawab's decision. He escaped to Pakistan. In February 1948, Junagadh merged in India. Hyderabad was the largest amongst the princely states in India. It comprised Telugu, Kannada, and Marathi regional sections. It was ruled by the Nizam. He put restrictions on the civil and political rights of his subjects to a great extent. To fight against the suppressive policies of the Nizam, the people of the state established various organizations, namely Andhra Parishad in Telangana, Maharashtra Parishad in Marathwada, and Karnataka Parishad in Karnataka. Swami Ramanand Tirtha led the Hyderabad freedom struggle skillfully with the help of loyal workers of these three organizations. He founded the Hyderabad State Congress and gave a momentum to the struggle for Hyderabad's accession. The Hyderabad State Congress passed a resolution in favor of Hyderabad's merger in India. It was opposed by the Nizam for the fear of losing his hold over the state. He was willing to join Pakistan. The people were in favor of India, while the ruler was in favor of Pakistan. Qasim Razvi, who exercised considerable influence over the Nizam, founded a militia organization called Razakars. This organization practiced many atrocities against the people who were fighting for democracy. The Nizam was adamant on his policies. He was averse to any negotiations and closed all channels of mediation. Ultimately, the Indian government launched a police campaign against the Nizam. This campaign was named as Operation Polo. On the 17th of September 1948, the Nizam finally surrendered and Hyderabad state was merged in India. Hari Singh, the ruling king of the state of Kashmir, had decided neither to join India nor Pakistan after India's independence. However, Pakistan had plans to annex Kashmir to its territory. Therefore, Pakistan began to pressurize King Hari Singh. On 22nd of October 1947, armed bands of intruders attacked Kashmir from the Pakistan border. King Hari Singh, who wanted to maintain independent status, asked India for help. On 27th of October 1947, he consented to merge Kashmir in India and officially submitted the instrument of accession to the government of India. The Indian Army was sent for Kashmir's protection. It captured a significant portion of Kashmir's territory that was acquired by the armed intruders from Pakistani border. However, they managed to keep their hold on some portion. In 1948, India presented the Kashmir Issue in United Nations. Thus, Kashmir Issue became an international issue. Even the United Nations could not persuade Pakistan to withdraw their troops from the territory of Kashmir occupied by them. However, then the National Conference Party decided on plebiscite to solve the issue and to accede Kashmir to India. The Constitution of Jammu and Kashmir was drafted, and since then, Jammu and Kashmir has been an integral part of the Republic of India. It was accorded a special status under Article 370, which was abrogated on 5th of August 2019. Dadra and Nagar Haveli are located in the interior parts of Gujarat coast. It is on the northern banks of the river Daman-Ganga. It was part of the Portuguese dominion and was administered by a Portuguese governor. It was anticipated that after India's independence, the Portuguese would hand over these regions to India and quit. However, they did not do so. Therefore, the people of Dadra and Nagar Haveli rose against the Portuguese. Two organizations, United Front of Goans and Azad Gomantak Dal, planned a campaign to free these regions from the Portuguese rule. In 1954, Francis Mascarenhas, Vimal Sardesai, who were leaders of Azad Gomantak Dal, intensified the struggle. With forced protestations, people captured Nagar Haveli. The other organization, United Front of Goans, took hold of Dadra. Rashtravadi Mukti Sena, a branch of Azad Gomantak Dal, took over Naroli, Pimparia, and some part of Silvassa. Local police stations and administrative offices were attacked. Public unrest reached such an extent that the Portuguese army had to beat a retreat. The Portuguese captain, Fidalgo, surrendered. The government of India appointed K.G. Badalani to bring normalcy in administration in these areas. According to the agreement with the Indian government, the region of Dadra and Nagar Haveli was merged in India on 2nd of August 1954. In 1961, Dadra and Nagar Haveli were given the status of union territories. The next two slides are a self-explanatory timeline about the liberation of Goa. When India got its independence, Puducherry was still a French colony. There prevailed a general notion among Indians that the departure of the British from India would send a signal to the Portuguese and the French to leave India on their own. However, that did not happen. The dispersed regions, including Puducherry, Karaikal, Mahe, Yanam, and also Chandranagar in West Bengal, were ruled by the French. The French government was unwilling to surrender these regions. People at Puducherry got united under the leadership of V. Subbiah, a communist politician and a trade unionist. Taking a serious note of the happenings in Puducherry, the government of India strongly demanded that the French government return the Indian regions held by them. In June 1948, a bilateral agreement was signed between both the governments. Thus, it became possible to resolve the Puducherry issue by way of negotiations, public movements, and governmental actions. In 1949-50, after a positive public poll, Chandranagar was merged in the Indian Republic. Later, on 13th of October 1954, by a bilateral agreement between the Indian government and the French government, the minutes of the merger process were drafted. The vote in the Legislative Assembly and in the Municipal Corporation was in the support of accession. On 1st November 1954, all French colonies in India were merged in India. In 1962, the French Parliament approved of the bilateral agreement, and in 1963, Puducherry was declared to be a union territory.